Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone on the World Wide Web.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Winky Wright and KTFO Boxing is proud to present Go Talk.
My man Winky.
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
So without further ado, let the goats talk.
How we doing? How's everybody doing? Welcome to KTFO, which stands for?
Knock the F out.
We got an F out.
We F'ing it out today.
Yes.
That's our guest out here.
Yes, because of our guest. That's right. But that is International Boxing Hall of Fame, Unified Boxing Champion, Winky Wright. And to his left, it's our honor, former Super Bowl champion, Defensive Player of the Year, Walter Payton Man of the Year, 5-time Pro Bowler, 100, the 100 anniversary all-time team, also all-decade team, also Tampa Bay Ring of Honor, and also media specialist, and also reverend, and also owner of his own school. He does it all, Mr. Derrick Brooks, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Did I leave anything else, sir? With all respect.
That was plenty. That was plenty.
Listen, Mr. Brooks, I'm going to call you DB.
Yes, sir.
If you don't mind, but when we get into this interview, I got to talk about the charter school. How's the charter school going? We'll get back to that, but how's the charter school going?
In one word, excellent. We are doing fine and still churning out education, man, to kids. And, you know, as we'll get back into it later, but every single day I wake up, man, it's always a prayer, you know, for those 750 teachers and students there. And I don't take the responsibility lightly that they trusted my small vision of education to prepare these young adults into their first stage of adulthood. So it's a great deal of responsibility, but at the same time, man, I know God got his hands on that school and particularly on those students.
Yes, sir. So for you to go the path that you went to, the football career and also the school, was it, you know, tell us how it started from growing up in Pensacola, Florida, to get to that level.
Oh, man. So I'll work backwards. So
okay, cool.
The school idea actually came from a lady by the name of Dr. Philja Swagger. Dr. Swagger was one of the mentors and teachers that Derrick Brooks Charities had hired to go into Boys and Girls Clubs and be tutors to kids. So my program, which Brooks Bunch, you know, through our foundation, we were always grounded on bringing extra help to like 10, and a matter of fact, it was 3 here in St. Pete, 10 clubs around the area, and I would hire teachers to go in and teach the kids. So she had done it for 3-4 years, and we saw a big difference in the way the kids' grades, you know, jump from F's to C's to A's being maintained by just bringing in additional resources. You know, some of these parents, they can't afford tutors.
Right.
So they were getting it through the Boys and Girls Club. So we gave them, meaning the Boys and Girls Club, another activation program to their membership. So it was a good partnership together. So on our last trip from South Africa, we were on the plane. She comes up to me and she said, "Derrick, have you ever thought about starting a school?" I was like, "Dr. Swag, no, I never thought about starting a school. I just want to keep helping these kids at the Boys and Girls Club." She said, "Think about it. You're already doing a school, you just don't have a building."
Mm-hmm. Right.
I said, "Whoa, okay." I said, "Where are you going with this, Doctor?" She said, "Just think about it. Tampa, Hillsborough County doesn't have a public charter high school. They don't have, all the high schools are private."
Right.
So, now I'm saying, okay, education, void. And I said, "Talk a little bit more about it." She said, "Well, it's like you saw how we improve kids' grades by just giving them an intimate, smaller environment and their learning increase. I think you could pull this off and just having the same thing." And at the time, you remember the old Eckerd's drugstores? Yeah. They had just went out of business. And she said, you know, Eckerd's, all these drugstores have empty buildings. So you could easily go in, get a building, and build your own school. I said, "Okay, that's interesting, Dr. Swag, to know."
Right.
So I kind of dismissed the conversation. So we got back here, man, it was just on my mind, even at practice. I'm thinking about this thing just about a school. I'm supposed to be thinking about a running back, fullback. I'm thinking about
Right.
So I just started praying on it. So I said, man, this could really be the next step for Derrick Brooks Charities, because my family now, my wife wasn't really into me taking another trip to Africa. She's like, hey, it's time to find something else to do besides
going to Africa.
Besides taking kids,
That's right.
over the world. She said, but I said, you know what, may have with a school. She said, a school? I said, yes. And I told her about Dr. Swagger's idea, and she was like, that sounds interesting. When will you have time to do it? So I'll make the time. Mm-hmm. So fast forward, I end up meeting Bill Helfand, who was a former son-in-law of Mr. DeBarlow, through some real estate connections, because they were involved in real estate here in the town, and the DeBarlow family had just moved their offices here.
Right.
So I ended up meeting Ben, and we're looking at buildings and from a business deal, and I'm looking at it like, man, this could be a school. And he said, what are you talking about be a school? So I told him my idea. He said, man, that'd be dope. You serious about it? I said, yeah. I said, man, I think I could, rival. I said, I'm not trying to be Berkeley or IMG or these private schools, but I said, I've seen the last 4 years how kids, if you put them in a small environment and show some love, I've seen them perform in education. And I think we could do it. He said, man, that's a major undertaking. I said, yeah. I say, what do you think Mr. Barlow done? What do you think your wife at the time would think about it? And he tells me, he said, well, the family has supported charter schools in San Francisco before. So we move on. I go do all my research, and I find out where the Barlow family, they funded elementary charter schools when he was the owner of the 49ers. So, man, I asked him to set up a meeting with him, and I'm going to go in, share my idea. And I meet with his daughters first, and they're all over. It's like this, awesome kids. I had that female appeal, so we're all over it.
Right.
So I go in his office, guys. True story. I got a nice PowerPoint prepared because I'm thinking this Mr. DeBarlow big. I got to be ready on my A game.
Top shelf.
Yes, man. Got these slides ready to go, and I walk into his office, and he said, Derrick, so tell me, this school idea, what's on your mind? Tell me about it. I said, well, I got this PowerPoint. He said, yeah, we'll get to that. Tell me about it. So I just started talking. Like, hey, here's how it started. Here's my vision. And I honestly tell you, it probably wasn't 5 minutes into the conversation.
I'm in.
Yep. Nice. But I don't hear it because I'm in my mojo.
Yeah.
You're still working.
I'm still working. I'm still talking. Right. And he leans up and says, I'm in. I say, I know we're in your office, Mr. D, but just let me show you some stuff. He said, Derrick, shut the F up.
It's in.
I'm in. I'm going to be your partner. And said, now let's go get some lunch. So it was just like that. And I hear him tell the story now to people that he knew he was in the minute I started talking, and he felt my passion.
Yeah.
There it is.
Exactly.
And that's kind of how the school started, became Brooks DeBarlow, and we had some rough beginnings at first because, again, we're serving a population that hadn't had no love. Mm-hmm. So it took the community a while to trust us in what we wanted to do, even the politics behind it. Guys, my first meeting with our school board, I walked out.
Really?
Because they accused us of trying to be IMG Academy.
Oh, they thought you were going to be in sports involved.
Exactly.
Got you.
And I said I would not be disrespected by no one because in our charter application, I never used the word sports. We never. I said if sports happen, it'll happen organically by the parents and the kids. But we're in this for the education. So when the ADs in the room said that, I walked out. And so I said because I wasn't going to be disrespected. That's right. That clearly let me know they didn't read and do their job. So my boys like, man, what if we lost the opportunity? I say another one will come. Right. But they came back in, hey, guys, come back in. We apologize. And now I said, now let's get serious about helping kids. And we got our charter school application approved. We've been rolling ever since.
That's good, man.
We'll get back to the end now and then. We'll also put up the link, and I'm going to talk about the fundraising and the work that I've seen those kids do. So now, when you're in high school, Derrick, what sports did you play?
I only played two.
Basketball?
I was actually a better baseball player than I was a football player growing up. No kidding. So got to high school, And my football coaches, when I went out for football, because I was first, back then you had a freshman team versus JV, so I was on there for like 2 weeks, and I moved up to varsity. So baseball season comes around, and I'm small then. I'm only 160, 65, 70 pounds, soaking wet. They wanted me to go lift weights and get bigger, but I wasn't trying to hit it. I wanted to play baseball. So the baseball coach never played me. So I sat on the bench. I'm like, you clearly see I'm one of the
better players.
Yeah. I'm not player number 10.
Yeah,
I may
right.
not be player number 1 as a freshman, but
you're
I'm
not
I'm not number 10.
Right.
So he never played me. So I go to practice. I ain't giving up. I ain't quitting. All right, I'm waiting my turn. We getting beat. All right, coach, we down 6 runs. Fourth inning. Let me see if I can. Guy pitcher get on. Hey, speed guy. No, you getting somebody slower than me to run. I'm
right.
Like, okay. So I go and I tell my mom. So I started doing this. I started bringing my homework to games. I wasn't going to play, so I might as well do my homework in the dugout.
Smart. Maximize your time.
Exactly.
Right.
So I tell my mom, I say, Mom, Dad, you ain't raised me as a quitter. I say, but this coach not playing me. Y'all done came to the games. I'm sitting on the bench, and my mom looked on me, and she said, it's about time.
That's right.
I said, what do you mean about time? She said, son, they've been trying to get you to be on some weightlifting team or do something else besides that to get bigger. I say, so you knew. She said, yeah. I told them you weren't going to quit, but they just had to, I guess you got tired.
So everybody knew but you.
Yeah. So everybody knew but me. I end up, I said, y'all won. Y'all had it. I go in, I lift weights and get bigger. And to the day, Steve Williams, who's the baseball coach, claimed, he the reason
Derrick Brooks is
Derrick
the
Brooks
football player.
developed because he wouldn't let me play baseball. And then my senior year, I played basketball.
There it is. All right.
They couldn't say nothing my senior year because the football season was over.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was already in Florida State. So they couldn't do anything about that.
So when you were playing high school football, how many times did you make All-State? Twice?
Yes.
To All-State twice, junior and senior year. So then, before you committed to Florida State, what was the other school that you were looking at? I mean, you're the hometown.
My top 5, Notre Dame.
Ooh.
And I was just, had to go see Touchdown Jesus and this mystique of Notre Dame. Next was Miami, Florida State, and Auburn.
Auburn. You would have been. Was that who? Now who were some of, when you were making those All-Pro teams your senior year in college? Who were some of your peers that were right before the draft that were the big names coming out when you were coming out?
They all in the state of Florida. Yeah, Kevin Carter.
Yeah.
Warren Sapp. Derek Alexander, Devin Bush, all guys that end up big pro careers. Ellis Johnson was a big name. A guy by the name of Pop Williams, quarterback out of Miami. Man, you talking about how now athletic with quarterback. He was doing that back then, but he had another love too, man. Them alphabets and numbers. He couldn't leave them alone.
Oh wow!
Outside the classroom. So we know.
It'll never add up.
Yes, sir. We know what that looks like,
yes,
right?
Sir.
So,
Yes,
the streets couldn't, he couldn't separate him.
Yep.
So, but Pop was, he was awesome. Philip Riley out of Orlando, still the best highlight film I've ever seen any player in high school. He was a track guy.
Right.
And, he was just blowing by dudes. And the other player who was actually the number 1 offensive player coming out was Marquette Smith. He was out of Orlando too, running back. He ended up going to Florida State with us as well. Tyrone, you're talking about now outside of Florida, Tyrone Wheatley.
I remember Tyrone Wheatley
In high school,
from
man.
Michigan.
He and Napoleon Kaufman out of L.A. 'cause he grew up in California. He was nice. And another big time linebacker was Jameer Miller.
Never heard of him.
He went to UCLA. Ended up second round draft pick with the Browns and the Cardinals. Played the Cardinals and the Browns. Man, he was that dude coming out of high school too.
We do this thing. We're coming up with this new thing with Wink. It's called Who You Like. And what it is, I want to give me your top 5 Florida State players that you've seen play? Because I don't want you reaching back in the history book.
Now you finna get me.
Yeah, I know. You gonna put them on. You gonna put them on.
You know what?
Because the other guys gonna say,
I'm gonna stand behind Wink. I'm gonna say, man, y'all got to go through these jabs. All
right.
So my top
that
5
you've seen. Top 5 Florida State players that you've seen.
Well, with me, I can't say Florida State on the map without saying Ron Simmons, especially defensively.
Okay, one.
In the early '80s, man. Ron's a bad dude, man.
Okay.
I seen play freshman Dion
prime time too.
And the next guys, man, gonna be my teammates. I say 3 is Charlie Ward. See Charlie do what he did, man, in practice.
Was he not phenomenal? Those Florida State Notre Dame games, man, and the defense had to stand up. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, but keep going. I'm sorry.
But C Ward was that dude, man.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
he really was.
Yeah.
Marvin Jones. Well, Marvin probably right there next to Ron, because you talk about
another defensive player,
a guy I played beside one year because he left early. I saw him put fear in people's eyes, man. Running backs, and I'm gonna respect this guy's name. Yeah. Dude was scared. Line up, and he looked across. Marvin looked at him. Marvin never used G-rated words. Yeah. He looked at him and told him what he was gonna do to him. Mm-hmm. Gave him the ball. MJ hit him. Man, tapped out.
Called a stretcher.
No, tapped out. Second play of the game.
Oh.
All of a sudden, it was a mystery hamstring, mystery something.
Yeah.
I said it was a missing heart. MJ took it. So MJ, I would say, just playing beside him. And one more.
It's the tough one.
Last one coming down, man, that I seen play. I'll get Terrell Buckley.
Oh, good one. Yeah, Terrell.
I'm going to get T-Buck.
Big DB, yeah.
I'm going to get T-Buck. T-Buck instinctively, man, was right up there with D. But Buck just had a flair. Both of them had a flair to him, man, that was it was unique.
So now you go from this powerhouse, because you guys, all of you all, Charlie Ward, yourself, Sapp, y'all built, that was the early Bobby Bowden, building up the powerhouse for Florida State. Mm-hmm. You're riding high, you're all state. You go, did y'all go to the championship?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, went to the championship. You get drafted. I'm in Chicago. We laughing. You go to the Bucks. And the Bucks are terrible. Terrible. At that time.
Worse than terrible.
Terrible. And man, bro, we used to watch you every time the Bears, like, we'll sit up there, because the defense, you were there and you stood up and you held it down. We'd be like, man, Brooks, it's hard, but it was just you, right?
Well,
they had to build the defense around you.
I would say, obviously, it had to be both of us, with Sapp too. Everything starting up front. But the team was so bad, honestly. The arena football team, the Storm, had a bigger following than the Bucks when I got here.
Yeah.
It was a thing to go to the Storm, travel across the bridge to see him play in the old Thunderdome. Mm-hmm. And even at the Storm had more success and following than. So I'm like, man, the arena team, I like arena football. I go watch them too, and I go in there, man, this thing is packed. People going, I'm like, we can't get none of this. We get bags over people's head. At the
Facts. True story.
So, obviously being, Sapp fell to the Bucks. Blessing for the Bucks. Sapp should have been, in my opinion, number one player taken in our draft. Mm-hmm. Talent-wise, hands down. But fortunate for the Bucks, he slips to 12. And then they get me at 28 through a trade with Dallas. So walking in, day one starters, you think people appreciate that. Mm-hmm. But this was the first day in this league was my lesson to, this is a grown man world. You walking in a room with grown men, you 20, 21, but you got men that are married, provide for families, got kids, it's a whole different dynamic that everybody ain't in there just to chase a Super Bowl ring. Everybody in there for personal reasons. It's a business. Mm-hmm. And you walking in as a rookie, I'm walking in, day one starter, I just took food off another man's plate who's been there 4 or 5 years. But didn't understand that day one. I'm from Florida State. I'm about, hey, man.
With a winner's mentality.
Hey, we all getting this together. The more I eat, we eat. You see, it ain't one steak, it's 85.
Right.
Not like that. So I walk in and I'm thinking, hey, how you know, man, you ain't earn that. Earn what? Your name's being first on the depth chart. But damn, man, you didn't even tell me your name. You just
just coming at me like that.
Like, man, I just showed up happy to
be here.
Happy to find the place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Shit, hey, I'm from Pensacola and Tallahassee. Coming to Tampa now, this big city to me.
Yeah.
I don't know what no interstate is. I just know I-10.
Who's the head coach?
It was Sam Weiss.
Okay, Sam Weiss.
So get in, and I was like, damn, man, this how it is. I guess, keep my mouth shut, just play ball. So go to, this, so we get in meetings, and that afternoon went to practice. So now I'm on the field. And practice, got my respect on the field, but now it's difficult. Now they say, okay, this kid can play, but it ain't as welcoming as because the mentality wasn't there. So get through our rookie. I mean, we were 5-2 my rookie year, in first place heading into the second half of the season, but we crumbled down the stretch. And I know why Tampa was like that, because it was that mentality in the locker room. Everybody saw Hardy Nickerson. And Hardy Nickerson came here as a free agent from Pittsburgh. So I saw a man trying to change the culture by himself, but nobody wasn't listening. So what we bought in, because, Sapp, we coming from winning programs. So Sam gets fired, Tony Dungy comes.
Here we go.
And what Tony brings to us at the time is stability. Like, hey, I'm bringing a system, which, again, a system that we played, Sapp and I played, and even Lynch, we played as rookie. The system didn't fit our skill set, but we made it work because of our talent. But Tony came in with his 4-3 defense, and he tweaked the system to our talents. And one of the biggest changes he made was every snap, Sapp and I line up on the same side of the field. Every snap, every defense. And it was a stability of, hey, this is how we're going to do things. This is how we're going to work. And he just gave us that consistent model, and it didn't change, man. I'm talking about it was the smallest of things that people would panic about and change to appease. Not with Coach Dungy. Hey, man, if we was out there on that field and that schedule said from 1 to 4, you ain't getting out of practice at 3:59.
Right.
You ain't getting out at 4:01. You're getting out at 4 o'clock. And this is what you're going to do in between. So I just think Tony bringing that stability started to set a winning mindset. Now, we didn't win at first with him. I mean, we lost our first 6 games under him. But how we lost, we felt, hey, man, it's coming.
It's coming.
And the second half of the season, we went 7-2, finished 7-9. And then 9-7 hit. We was rolling.
Yeah.
Beat San Francisco, the defending Super Bowl champs, first game of the year, blew them out. And that's when we went on our run at 9-7, started the season 8-1, and for my career, never looked back.
So was it difficult to change that locker room? Like it was, because it was just you and Sapp. And, Tony Dungy, I know, again, professional, ultimate motivator. But how did you make that energy transfer to everybody else that had witnessed a bad system?
Well, we took this approach, and again, giving Coach Dungy all the credit. Coach made it, what we were doing, the investment we were putting in was bigger than what we were doing on the field. His whole thing was, hey, we're going to win because we're going to serve this community. We're going to get from behind these walls, these fields, and we're going to get out and do good. And from Coach's mindset is, we're playing the game of life and everybody wins. There's no losses. There's no double-digit losing seasons. And changing that mindset when you get out and get this community to trust us again.
Right.
Even to the point, I can say, with, how I became fans of Wink and we met, it was about, hey, who else is doing what in this town to succeed? We got to be a part of it. Where in the past, if the Bucks, for whatever minimal success they had, they didn't share it with an up-and-coming box. They didn't look to see others in the area succeed and support. Well, Coach's mindset wasn't like that. It was, okay, Winky Wright's having a fight. We're showing his fight. Saturday night. We're watching it.
Right.
And we're inviting him in to come to our practice, see us interact with us. So coach was all about supporting everybody. And from that mindset, you got to think that's how the culture changed, whether it's Wink, whether it was Tarv, whether it's Roy, anybody succeeding other teams. You know, the hockey team had started at the time. So the baseball, whatever anyone else is doing, race car driving, it was, man, the St. Pete Grand Prix opening, one of us had to be the Grand Marshal every year to go start the flag here in downtown. So coach was all about getting out and supporting the community and getting the Bay Area to trust this team. And
so
by trust,
it came from
my final point, by trust this team, it also meant staying out of trouble.
Right.
And you look at his tenure, where prior to us coming, you know,
the temple was wild.
Yeah, it was. There was
players didn't have no structure.
No structure, no discipline.
It was everywhere.
Yeah. So even you go out, you have your fun, but man, let's make that structure before 12. If she ain't said no by 11:50, she ain't saying no. Go home.
That's right. That's right.
You know, it's that simple. So. Didn't mean to cut you off, but that's why I say by changing the culture, it was just bigger than our locker room. It was about the whole Bay Area trusting our team.
Yeah. I love it. Don't worry about cutting me off neither. This is all about you.
This is all about you.
This is all about you.
But we're going to stop and get a break for our sponsors.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we'll be back.
This is KTFO Boxing. That's, of course, the International Boxing Hall of Famer Winky Wright, and that is Mr. Derrick Brooks.
Winky Wright presents KTFO Boxing's G.O.A.T Talk. Here's one of the GOAT starts right now.
Welcome back, KTFO Boxing, which stands for you.
Got knocked the F out.
That is International Boxing Champion.
Got to show respect to my homeboy.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right. Winky Wright, and also Derrick Brooks in the building, who, of course, you've learned at an early age, you know, you have to be a blessing to be a blessing.
Yes.
You know, and you said Tony Dungy, when he came into the area, he looked at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay was kind of wild, and he immediately pulled y'all into the community. And obviously that resonated with you, because sometimes, you know, it's being told to go do something like, let me get up in the morning and go deal with these kids real quick. And then it's something about, let me embrace it and make it my reputation. Because when I first came to Tampa, that's what they always, Derrick Brooks is always in the community. Where did that, I mean, outside of Dungy, what else influenced you inside to want to give back so much?
Well, thank you. It really started back home and seeing my old grandmother, man, how she served people through cooking. For her,
was she selling plates?
Yeah, she wasn't selling; she was giving
them away.
Yeah. So you come around Miss Martha's house, man, and you hadn't ate, you finna eat, and you're gonna eat before the family. I've seen many a time a stranger coming in, man, and you know, you think you finna get some grandma's cook on Sunday, you getting in line. I'm
right.
Like, you feeding them before you feed us? She's like,
blood.
Yes. She's like, yeah, because you know you're gonna have a meal the next day. They don't. So the attitude of giving really started, you know, with that, and really my mom and dad at the house, you know, realizing that, hey, I'm a smart kid, and don't waste my talent academically and make fun of kids who are not as smart as me. Help them out. Help them, teach them differently, that maybe you could help them where the teacher can't, instead of making fun of them. So those are lessons that, for me, kept me passionate about my journey, to be honest with you, in education. And that's where I feel I fell in love with Coach Dungy's message, was through youth education. And that's how Derrick Brooks Charity got started. You know, I'll take a brief moment to share this with you guys. I got started working in the community by giving tickets. It was two young men, roaming around the old Sombrero Stadium where we parked. And I'm coming up to go into the players' entries, and I just see these two kids just hanging out, loitering around. So I walk up to them and say, hey, man, where y'all from? We from down the street, College Hill. I said, what y'all doing here at the game? We just trying to meet some players. You know, I said, oh, okay, I'm trying to meet some players too. Yeah. You know, I said, oh, really? I said, yeah. So they come, I say, see that guy? He's a player. See that guy? He's a player. So I'm pointing to
them out.
My teammates as coming. They looking at me like, who? It was Brooks standing here. So they end up mean guys going in. So now it's time for me to go in the game. So I said, all right, so I tell you what, guys, what if I can get y'all 2 tickets?
Right.
So you get us some tickets? I said, yeah. I said, but we got to make a deal. You see that white truck over there? It's like, yeah. I said, you just make sure nobody touch that truck if this team don't win. I don't want nothing happening to my car if the team don't win. So y'all be the security guards for my car. Get y'all some tickets. So I walked in, got them 2 tickets, concession stand stuff to give them something to eat. I say, now I expect y'all to hold y'all, into the deal. So we shook hands. So, man, these 2 kids came in, and we played the game, didn't win. Well, man, they came back, and they were standing at my truck, man. They didn't even let my brother in my truck. He rode to the game with me.
Right.
So I called my brother, like, man, who are these 2 little kids, man? They're talking about, you told them? I was like, yeah, they're my bodyguards. So we get to talk. I said, man, the team didn't win. They still don't know I played. Yeah. So I said, all right. I said, won't y'all come back next week, bring some friends, and I'll get y'all some more tickets. They said, how you going to get tickets? I said, because I'm a player. They said, you playing? I said, yeah, I was out there on the field, number 55, Derrick Brooks. That was you? I said, that was me. I said, so invite your friends, come back next week. And I said, we could use a few more people in the stands. Yeah. But you got to root for us, can't root against us. Yeah. And that's the saying, say, God tell you be careful what you ask for.
That's right.
Oh, it was real. It was real for me. Mm-hmm. Next week, it was about 300 people at that stadium. Security, Andre called me, said, Derrick, on my way, he's like, man, it's all these people out here say you promised them tickets. I said, how many people? He said, man, I don't know, a couple hundred? I say, what? He said, yeah, and it's 2, said some 2 boys told him something about you getting them tickets. I said, Andre, they all good. I'm on my way. I'll get the tickets. So now I'm thinking, all right, man, it's about 300 people. All right, 40 times 300. How much this going to cost? All right. Lord, I said invite them all. So I went there, man, and it literally was over a couple hundred people. Got them tickets, came in the game. We actually ended up beating the Redskins that day. And I asked kind of people, hey, where'd y'all come from? They said, we came from College Hills. I said, where's College Hills? They said, go straight down Martin Luther King.
Why is it always Martin Luther King?
Man, because that's where the stadium sit on. Martin Luther King and Dale Mabry.
But that's always straight to the hood.
I mean, it went right into the heart of it, man. Right. Matter of fact, y'all had Gary on here right where Gary grew up. Yeah. So went in, and the Boys and Girls Club there was kind of where all the kids was from. So, man, I went there with no agenda, just to hang out, get to know the people that I'd given tickets to, and kind of been going there ever since, so to speak. But I know this was, man, a faithful God moment for me, because I never saw those 2 young men again.
Never asked for them?
Never asked their names. Asked the people around about them. They just know it was 2 kids that told them to come to the stand and get tickets from me. And I couldn't tell you the day, almost 40 years later, 25 years later, if these young men told me that they were them. I couldn't say that they're lying.
Well, you 2 gentlemen are out there jumping our DM, because then that work led you to, my idol was Walter Payton, and of course you could not win that Walter Payton Man of the Year award unless you served your community, and you clearly did that in 2000. So following up to that, Defensive Player of the Year, how'd that feel getting that award?
Oh, man, it felt good, because the way John...
A lot of defensive players.
Yeah, John, and I'm going to say about your man, Walt, the year that I won it was the first year that they changed the name for the Man of the Year to after him. So I was, man, extremely humble, to, to the Payton family to be the first to win it under his name. Man, it was a blessing. But Gruden actually, John Gruden's our head coach at this point. And my personality is not one to let everybody know what I'm doing. I'm going to show up on the field. I'm going to do my thing, and the film going to tell you I'm a problem. I don't need to tell you I'm going to be a problem. My play going to speak for that.
Right.
And that's how I feel I earn people respect and trust. Well, Gruden comes in, and his first team meeting, he calls me out. Calls me out. Say, hey, Derrick, stand up. He say, reads these stats, have you done this, this, and this? He say, it's got your Pro Bowls, nice contract. He say, but you ain't done anything. He say, you ain't done
No.
He did. And I'm looking like, hey, man, this dude trying me. I promptly, now I'm up like, man, this head coach going to call all these men in here. He called me out. Yeah. I mean, Sapp won Defensive Player of the Year 2 years ago. You didn't call him out.
Right.
Simeon right here with 18 sacks. You didn't call him out. Yeah. But you called me out.
Right.
So I'm like, okay.
Captain of the team.
Yes. I was like, all right, where is this going? So I said, yeah, Coach, you're right, but I say, man, you trying to say I ain't doing my job? You say, nah, you ain't doing your job. I say, how so? So now it's voice change.
Yeah, now, yeah.
How so?
Let me know.
Yeah, man, you just got here 2 months ago, bro. I played against you.
Right.
How so? I said, how so? He says, clearly. He said, if you that dude, you that all this, why you haven't been Defensive Player of the Year?
So that made you go.
Oh, boy, he counterpunched.
That was the challenge.
He counterpunched me. Wink didn't say it. Ain't knocked me out, boy. He had
Straight jab.
Oh, man. They were bringing in the jab. This old left hook to the rib was right. Ooh,
I can't breathe.
Yeah, he hit me one of them.
Right.
So I was like, okay, nice body blow. All right, coach, you right. I said, but I ain't selfish to think like that. I said, I ain't selfish to think like that. Me win that award, I want to win a Super Bowl.
That's right.
He said, that's what I'm trying to tell you, Derrick. Win the award. We'll win a Super Bowl. He said, it's all right for you to go into somebody else's yard in their house and tell them you finna kick the door down, you finna beat them the F up, and walk out of there whatever you want to because you that dude. I need that mentality out of you, so I had this mentality out of this team. He said, we are great enough to win a Super Bowl, but we got to change this attitude. He said, defensively, y'all some bad MFers.
Right.
Yeah.
But y'all ain't scored 9 touchdowns. Of all the great things y'all done, y'all hold people to a field goals, this, that, y'all dominate, but how many of y'all scored touchdowns? It's the last time I counted, of all these Pro Bowls and accolades, he said only 3 touchdowns been scored between all y'all great players. He said, score 9. Derrick, win Defensive Player of the Year. We'll win a Super Bowl. Now, I know, when I think of Coach Dungy and Coach Gruden and closer to God, I think, Dungy way up here.
Yes.
But I think that was a divine moment for him because it happened. I became Defensive Player of the Year that year. Dwight Smith, last touchdown he scored in the Super Bowl was our 9th touchdown. And Gruden called that in March. And he changed that perspective attitude. So when I think about winning that award and how it feels, I'm glad I was able to do it and our team win a Super Bowl because I didn't have to come out of character and say I did some selfishly in winning this and our team didn't achieve the ultimate championship. So to win it in the way that he changed my attitude and challenged me and our team walk home with the ring, that was the cake and icing for me.
That's amazing, man.
So it led up to that moment. You get this Lombardi trophy. You get this ring. Now you're at the age you are now looking back at it. How does it feel knowing that you have that ring?
It feels great. Not to say that it defines your career because, many great players, hadn't won it. But I think about the impact of the area, the Bay Area here. That's my fondest memory of winning the Super Bowl. It was a parade. It wasn't scoring a touchdown to seal it. It wasn't defensive play. It was, man, walking through downtown and to see people coming from across both bridges to be a part of this. I just felt this was the first time our sports area, man, gave the respect that it was due.
Yeah, they needed it.
And I think I'm going to tie it all together here. Wink, think about this here with me, Wink. It's at the same time, you and Tarver, at least all y'all doing y'all thing in the ring.
Yeah.
So people say, it's the big Tampa Bay thing now because, hockey and the Bucks raise or win. But I said, man, we was doing this back early 2000s.
That's right.
We just weren't smart enough to say Tampa Bay. Right. But, man, we had champs back then. And back and bigger than that, all us had relationships and supporting each other in that manner too.
Right.
So that's why I say when I pulled a full picture, and that's how Leroy Selman always got me to think like that, back to when Coach Dungy said about supporting, the community. That's how the championship spirit for me and what that ring represents, especially at that time, because I believe we opened the door because of football being the masses. But once they pull that onion back, man, it's like, damn, Wink from there, Tar from there, these boys doing their thing at
Sheffield, McGriff.
Yeah, everything. Now people start to appreciate Chef. That's our Tampa guy.
Right.
You know, they want
before he was in LA, he was this and that. You know, now Chef part of us now. Oh yeah, that's our Tampa guy. So I think all that opened the doors. When I think about that Lombardi ring, I just think about the greater impact for me was Bay Area finally got the respect that it was due. Yeah, I agree with them on that. That's definitely, especially with me for boxing. You know, when I was fighting, it was like, you didn't hear no boxers coming out of this area, Florida. Roy Jones was the only one, but that's way in Pensacola. But I'm talking about this area, this general area. Nobody wasn't boxing, so it was hard for me to get my just due for the true fans to see. The true fans knew Winky Wright because they watched boxing like him. You know, people that's in the boxing, like, he knew Roy Jones from Pensacola. So then when me and Roy hooked up and then all that, then I know him. So it was cool, you know what I'm saying? I can see that he can talk to Roy. I can talk to Roy. Yeah, brotherhood was good like that. But before that, I'm like he said with the Bucks, I got to knock the door down for boxing in this area because I ain't getting I'm beating everybody, but nobody don't want to give me the publicity. You know what I'm saying? So it took for me to finally get with Roy. Roy had HBO contracts, and you know what I'm saying? So Roy could promote me in that manner. So I got with Jay Prince. Me and him went to Roy. We hooked up. Roy became my promoter. And like I said, to this day, man, I take my hat off to the dude. He opened the door for me to be able to, for people to be able to see me. And then, I had to do the rest. I had to come out there and perform, man. He gave me the opportunity.
And you think about this. I remember the first time Wink had his first title shot, and we had him come to the game on the sidelines. And you think about for 3 to 5 minutes, they're talking about, hey, man, the champ is in the house. And he on the sideline feeling that love. Yeah.
Dripping. He was dripping too back then.
He was so no doubt about it. But think about the relationships he's talking about.
Yeah.
Hey, man, come let us feel your energy and recognize what you do in this ring with us, and now our team recognize now is, all right, we can associate with the boys with the Bucks. Yeah. And that would go where, that's why I say, anytime during the season, any one of our Florida fighters are fighting, we showing it at our team hotel. Here, our team hotel on the road. Everybody will tell you that, because they know how much I love boxing. I was a fan. Hey, coach, we piping this in. Somebody paying for this. We piping paper. We piping it in. Right. Pay-per-view, whatever it is. We finna sit and watch these fights. Yeah. And that's how we was able to show our love, back to them as they make their journey, because it's always been bigger than us. And that's why I say, as long as I was blessed to be the captain of the team, to go in and speak and make those calls and make sure those doors stayed open, because we talking about some 30 years later, man, we still down. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Still supporting. That's what it's supposed to be. I just want this new generation that's coming up to understand how important that is. And that's I'm telling you guys, that's a missing link. Because so many are into the self-promotion now.
That Instagram.
That instant
self-gratification. It's narcissistic.
Right, and it's not about, hey, I'm only going to support you if I can stand on top of you.
Right.
Yeah, that's not good.
It's not lift as we climb.
Nah, hey, man, let's go together. We support each other going up. Man, you got 1 million more likes than me, man. I'm trying to, there should be, hey, it ain't about 1 million likes. Hey, it's about, hey, what you doing with your content that I could help you spread your word, and my content I could help you, and together we help each other.
That's right.
Man, that's so much missing right now in competitive sports, and they have a bigger platform than we did.
Yeah, because they got that social media. They got that social media
to do it.
But like you said, it's all about self gratification. Everybody want to be that dude. You know what I'm saying? Instead of we being that group. I want to be that dude. I want to be the dude everybody talking about. Instead of we all being the group, we all grooving together. You know what I'm saying? That's what I like. I'm always chill. Everybody that know me know I'm cool. I'm chill. I talk trash jokingly. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. But other than that, I'm cool.
Just did it today.
Yeah. They call Brooks. I'm playing bad Brooks, right? So I'm playing. When I tell you I'm playing so bad, dog. Yeah, so, but they called me out last night. We had dinner. Oh man, we gonna play. Everybody before now, nobody wouldn't bet me. Right.
Now everybody want to bet me. Everybody want to bet me. I said, boy, y'all gonna wake up a sleeping giant. And the day they did, I banged all of them. All of them.
Oh, so, did you call? Hey, we eat steak tonight, man.
No, I let them off the hook like that. I let them off the hook.
That is Super Bowl champion Derrick Brooks. That is Boxing Hall of Fame Winky Wright. This is KTFO Boxing, and it's called Go Talk, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back.
This is your favorite athlete's favorite athlete. KTFO Boxing.
Welcome to KTFO Boxing, which stands for You Got
Knock the F Out.
That is Boxing Hall of Famer Winky Wright. And to our guest, it's been so much fun so far. We have Super Bowl champion, also Defensive Player of the Year, Florida State alum in the ring, retired Jersey. Derrick Brooks is in the building.
Right.
Thank you, gentlemen.
We call it Go Talk. I'm going to ask you this first, Wink, and I'm going to give you a chance to think about it. Now, a lot of people like to talk about the zone, and a lot of people like to talk about being in that moment of seizing the moment as an athlete, but people don't understand that it's a difference between amateur, like you're good, and then it's professional.
Oh, definitely.
And I have this concept, and I just want to ask you first, Wink. Like, is part of getting into that zone and getting in that focus, do you have to get out your emotions? Do you have to be able to compartmentalize and get your feelings out of the way and just concentrate to succeed?
To me, I think it depends. It depends on what you're trying to accomplish. You could use
win them belts.
But listen, if you notice when I'm fighting, I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun. So if boxing was fun to me, I get hit, but it's fun. It's about, okay, can I outthink you? Can I outmaneuver you? And at the end of the day, can I whoop you? Right. And then when the emotions get in, as far as, man, I hate you or this, that's when you go off key. That's when you ain't focused. You ain't focused on what you need to be focused on. Now I want to hurt you instead of put my game plan together. So in that case, that's where me and Bernard was, because he made me mad enough where I forgot my game plan. I wanted to hurt him.
Threw it out the window.
I wanted to hurt him. Yeah, it was all about hurt him. And then when he head butted me, and it was just like, okay, kill. I got blood. I want to kill him. You know what I'm saying? So that's that mentality. But if I took my time and just, okay, you know what, go back to your jab, use the defense, and then just pick them off. And I'm saying to myself, it's so easy. What are you doing? But that's how it is. You get out of your zone, and it's crazy. But when you're in that zone, it's like you can't be touched. Like, you see everything slow motion. Like when I fought Tito, it was crazy. I trained so hard because I knew.
You saw that fight? Yeah. I was there.
Yeah.
Oh, you were there?
Yeah, definitely.
It was one point, I believe, in the 8th. Winky got him in the corner where we were sitting, came over, Wink underducked, couple body blows in the corner, looked at the side, looked over to us and winked at us. Am I lying?
Yeah, because you in the zone. You in that zone.
He looked over to us as he grabbed, winked his eye. I saw it's done.
It's over. Yeah, man.
He winked at us.
This is so crazy. I tell everybody about that fight. The first round, so he had people gotta realize he just fought Mayorga like 2-3 months before that fight. He destroyed Mayorga.
Yes.
And Mayorga is a tough dude, but Tito was hitting him with hooks, uppercut, banged him and stopped him. So everybody expected him to do the same to me. So I was saying to myself, okay, just get your body in the top shape and go in here and fight your game plan. You know you can beat him. And then that's what I did. I got focused, I got zone. But what I saw in him, like I said, that zone, when you say you see things come slow motion, it came slow motion. Yeah. When he would punch, I could see it. It's like, okay, you're not gonna hit me with that. Okay, let me move. You know what I'm saying? Then I see the hook, just slap. If you know that I'm right here, I'm watching him, and he throw the hook, and I can see, I'm like, dang, is it this slow for real? Then, go right by. I'm like, man. Then he hit my arm. I was like, oh. So the first round, my coach was like, hey, can he hit? I said, yeah, he can hit. I can feel the punch. He like, okay, we're going to stay focused. We're going to stay focused because I think they trying to play games or something. They trying to set us up because it was too easy. Right. So then I was like, yeah, it is easy. All right, we're going to go back. Second round, we went out there. Man, when I came to that corner, second round, I said, it's over. I said, we won. I said, he can't.
Second round, this is how much I know I'm into boxing.
There you go.
I can tell you every round.
Okay.
Second round, he went on the offense.
Yeah.
Backed him up because, he was bigger than Winky. Everybody kept saying the side. Wink backed him up 3 times. Off his jab.
On him.
Just his jab. Backed him up. Man, they're like, damn, that's the first time he done been backed up. I said, man, he been hit flush.
Yeah.
I said, he hit flush. So second round, I said, okay,
good round. Champ came out offensive, but I know I said, all right, we go back. You're a defensive
Yeah,
fighter.
because everybody think he's coming back. That's the same thing to me.
Go back to playing defense. And man, I'm just telling you, I just remember that 8th round when y'all was over the outside of the ring. Boy, he came with a nice size hook. You underduck that thing, hit him 2 times, boom, boom, tied up, winked at us. I said, oh, man, it's done. It's done. It was over.
We had a great time with that, man. And like I said, them kind of moments is just incredible. You know what I'm saying? When you get to see, your friends out there when you doing what you're doing, like you said, football, and you they see the crowd, they doing their thing, they see people cheering for them. Same thing. When I'm fighting, I can see the crowd, I see everybody right there. You know what I'm saying? Do this, do that, do that. So it's amazing. It's an amazing feeling, and only time it was kind of upsetting for me because I had to watch 2 of my homeboys fight.
Yeah.
So I had to watch Tarver and Roy fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That was tough.
And how'd you feel about that, by the way?
Well, I'm going to tell you, see, Tarver.
Don't forget about my zone question
No,
either.
I'm going to come back to that. Yeah. But the first time they fought, I had just, I knew Tarver and we were starting to vibe, but they know I'm
Roy Jones, we
I'm raw all
that.
day.
Pensacola.
So I was selling out to Tarver. So every time we play golf, boy, I'm selling out. Boy, hey, man, you out here golfing, you need to be going and get hit in the face 1,000 times. How you going to get your nose trained?
Yeah.
Right? I'm selling out to Tarver. So, Tarver ain't finna take it. So one day we at the barbershop, and I go in, I say something to Tarver. He starts, so I hit the phone. I hit Roy on speakerphone. Yeah. So Roy listening to what Tarver, because at the time, and again, I'm gonna give Tarver a lot of credit. He stayed persistent because Roy wasn't going to fight it.
Right. Yeah.
Roy was looking, obviously, coming off the head to stay another either cruiser heavy, but Tarver, he'd earned his right. Yeah. So as Champ set it out, Joe's here. So I kick off, hey, man, you hear what he talking about, Roy? Yeah, I heard that. I'm going to see him. So a few months later, now obviously, they go to talk because Roy's other fight fell through, and I had to fight Tarver. And I actually thought of the 3 fights that they fought, I actually thought Tarver the first time they fought his best fight.
Everybody did.
But he was so, I'm going to tell you, I say, man, you were so scared of Roy, you didn't know how to finish. I said, you let Roy catch you in 11th and 12th. I said, because you didn't know how to finish. You didn't expect to be in this position of success. That's why I said, man, so the second time they fought, obviously, now he learns from that. Like, I'm going in expecting success. And to his credit, man, he caught it.
You got to fail to succeed. But Tarver won that first fight, though.
I sit here and say, Tarver, I say, man, me as a
with your
boxing
partner,
guy,
you got to.
No, that's not even that.
Okay.
I say Tarver had going into the 10th, 11th, and 12th, Tarver had a 2-round lead. That's how he fought. But he wasn't used to being in that position at this level, and he let Roy steal 2 of the last 3 rounds.
Showman, yeah.
He did. I would say 2 through 9, Tarver dominated the fight. But when it got to championship moments, Tarver and his people took off the gas.
Yeah.
And that's why I say you weren't used to being in that position. I said you let Roy, thinking Roy was coming back to knock you out. Roy was looking to steal rounds. Yeah. And he did. And that's how, in my opinion, he ended up getting a decision. Obviously, the second time, I give Tarver this piece, he said, man, it won't come down to the judges.
Yeah. Tarver threw that left.
I said, you ain't finna catch my boy. I say, you ain't gonna catch him slipping. Now, you may get lucky.
That wasn't
luck either, though.
Man,
but he threw that punch. That punch landed.
Boom, boom.
I said, oh, my God.
He ducked Roy, man. He slipped Roy hook.
And just threw that left.
He caught him with, Tarver caught Roy with his.
Were you at that fight?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tarver knocked him out, cat to the ring. I say, man, you win, I'll be right there to be the first to greet you.
Yeah.
He won, jumped up on the rope, looked right at me. I gave it to him, man. Because that's my dude.
Yeah.
Man. I said, I'll be the first one. I'm gonna be the first one to greet you in Vegas. And if you have a celebration in Tampa, I'll be at the door.
That's right.
And I was, because that's like I say, man, these my dudes.
Yeah.
Like Tarver, hell, he a Dallas Cowboy fan at heart.
I'm a Dallas
Cowboy fan.
But I'm gonna definitely root for the Bucks because I'm here. But I'm a Cowboy. I'm definitely. But in I was born in Washington D.C. And this match, and they Redskins fans, and I'm a Dallas Cowboy. So I got one team, but I root for the Bucks because I'm here. I'm with the Bucks, and I'm always rooting.
We know, but you always talking trash.
I'm just a Cowboy fan. That's just what it is. But I'm a root for the Bucks.
But I'm a
middle linebacker. You're looking at all these great great running backs, Marshall Faulk on down, and you're defensive player of the year. How do you get in the zone?
But in the zone means different things. Like
give me your definition.
Where the basketball player, because they can touch the ball, they shoot, shooting in the ocean,
and they feel it.
Right. I saw it in boxing when somebody like
can't be hit
in that rhythm, can't be hit, dominating the fight, doing your thing. In football, because you're depending on 10 other guys, that those zone moments, you can have that as a quarterback when you're hitting all your targets, but it's because the offensive line protecting.
Right.
Receivers, you could be in that zone, but you still need someone to get you the ball.
Right.
In that zone for them, maybe, hey, I ain't dropping a pass this game. I catch them and make somebody miss. For me, defensively, being in the zone for me was I could see every play that slows down, and I had a couple moments like that where people said my career, we played Michael Vick. Mm-hmm. I could really say in 2 our games against him, I felt everything he was trying to do because I was responsible for him. Whether he was trying to fake and throw, run, QB option, whatever, I was on it. And that zone moment, I think I was awarded that man because I studied it. I studied everything that he put on film, I knew. Mm-hmm. I mean, I even went back, watched that Virginia Tech, what he was doing in Virginia Tech against Florida State. I watched all that. It's like, man, he has showed me he's showing me something.
Preparation.
So I actually prepared for that, and especially the one thing, like I said, man, athletically it's hard to pin it down, but I am noticing something, how he carries that ball. I say every time I get on, and I went back to our deep, I say, guys, the third guy that gets to him, go for the ball.
Go for the ball.
I say, go for the ball. I say the first and third guy, go for the ball. Second guy clean. They say, what? I said, man, I said, guys, I've studied probably 3,000 plays. All 3,000 plays, he's yet to secure that ball. And you look at Michael Vick playing the Bucs, we were the team he had the most turnovers against.
Wow.
Because we went out to that ball. And in this particular game, man, I had like 3 calls, fumbles, a pick, about 12, 15 tackles this one game, and rage against him. And that was kind of my zone moment. And I think my other one was probably in the Super Bowl. That last drive.
Yeah,
the Raiders, when they lined up, this is what they doing.
Yeah.
I just got to stay patient. I'm going to get him.
Yeah.
I said, just got to stay patient. Stay patient. Mm-hmm. And when he looked across the middle before I broke, I said, it's mine.
You knew it.
I knew it. As soon as he dropped back, I looked up, this is mine.
Yep.
I caught it. I was like, hey, don't fall. Don't fall. Don't fall.
That'd be so funny. When you see them, they running.
Don't fall. Don't fall.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's going through his mind. Not to fall. Not worry about nothing else. Yeah, don't fall. Because you see it. You see them dudes catch the ball, they running. Next thing you know, their legs just give out.
They're just right there exasperated. It's like they just sucking up all the oxygen.
Don't fall. Don't fall.
Derrick, when do you know when it's time to give it up? When did you know retirement was, this is it? I know.
Well, I knew going into 2008. I had my 1 year left on my contract. Been 2009. I had set in my mind, I didn't want to, I wanted to get to 15 years. Get to 15 years, see what the team was, see how I'm feeling, and make a decision. But I started thinking about that probably year 13 after we made our run in 07. Mm-hmm. Our team far exceeded my expectations in making the playoffs. So I felt we still had enough pieces to make another run in 09, just because we started my last year, started season, 9-2. And then when Monty Kiffin's son signs him away to go to Tennessee, I think that's when we started kind of falling apart at the seams. Mm-hmm. But I thought, 08, I really thought a lot of us that was on 1 year deals left on our contracts. I really thought the Bucs would let us get to 2009 because we had a deep run and see where it go. But they didn't. They decided to we're finna make a change right now from Bruce Allen, Coach Gruden, to all the vets, and they purged the team. And till today, Mark Dominic and Raheem Morris said that was the biggest mistake that they ever did, because they saw once we left and now they started to see the things around the team, man, these young guys weren't ready. Mm-hmm. They needed to let the transition be organic. Like I say, they released myself, Warwick Dunn, Joey Galloway, Cato June at the time, Jeremiah Trotter, John Wade, Pittman. It was like, I'm missing 2 more, I apologize. But when you take away 9 of your 26 best players that are veterans that are playing a role. Now we're role players. Mm-hmm. The young guys are playing with us. We're not out there getting every snap. We're playing a role, just like JPP doing now. We're playing a role. But to wipe that from underneath the team, they saw that they didn't value that enough. And that's why you saw the Bucks from 09, man, through 10 more years, downhill.
Right.
And I give, now how that transition, say how I knew it was time to go, I had already started these things while I was playing. And I said, hey, man, whenever it's time to transition, I'm going to be all right. We'll be good. And I said, I don't want to be, if I wanted to play all my years here on my terms. But once they released me, it was teams calling that I could have signed with. I was like, man, I'm at this point. If I only 2 teams, man, that I play for, I felt I had a serious shot. That was New Orleans and New England. And both teams called.
I wish I would have loved to see
man, I actually went and worked out with the Saints, and the Saints, New Orleans only 2 hours from Pensacola.
Okay.
So that move made sense for me from a family standpoint because our kids were still young. So if my wife wanted to live in Pensacola, go to school in New Orleans, so it wouldn't have been that big of a disruption to be in New Orleans. The reason I looked at the Patriots because I had Tom back then because Junior Seau had played a role for them. And I saw myself playing that role, but I was younger and I could be a little bit more impactful. So when Bill Belichick called, we talked about that. It's like, man, I feel you were like Rodney Harrison. You still got a couple years left. When Rodney came to us and gave us 3 great years, 2 Super Bowls, all pro for him, I think that's you. And I said, I appreciate it, Coach. Let's continue to talk. I say, but I don't think Junior Seau's ready to retire. I say, so if you bring me in, that means you're closing the door
on him.
On him. So I would want that situation resolved before I come because I don't want to sign with you. Mm-hmm. Junior comes back, and now both of us here, and neither one of us got a chance to be successful because there's only one role. Mm-hmm. So long story short, he understood where I came from. Junior Seau, once he hears that they're talking to me, he immediately calls Belichick and they sign him back. Which I knew that was I knew that behind the scenes that was happening. So, and I got to New Orleans, man. I actually thought we had a deal, and Sean Payton and the GM, man, they just kind of got into, a little bit of pissing contest.
Right.
And Sean wanted me on the team and said, I want Derrick Brooks at this price. The GM said you can have him, but not at. I want him at this price. And I said, hey, Mickey Loomis, I don't need football.
That's right.
What you're offering me is somebody that's desperate.
What? That's disrespectful.
I did. I said that's disrespectful. That's somebody that's out of a desperation situation. Mm-hmm. And you have guys out here that's in this position that can come in and do this. If I'm here, I'm on this end of the spectrum because who you have, I'm gonna eventually end up replacing and starting. And that's how I want to be treated. I want to earn that. If you don't even give me, you don't even want to give me the incentives to earn my way on the team and be compensated for that, man, that's very short-sighted of you.
Right.
I say, and you live in New Orleans, man. My whole career, I never paid state tax.
Let's talk about
Louisiana. So where is this, where you account for the state income tax and what you're offering me?
Right.
And he's like, there, they said you was a smart man. I said, nah, I ain't say I was, I am.
Yeah,
that's right.
Absolutely.
So, long story short, man, I you know what, I can't do this. I say, if y'all at a point in the season, and injury-wise, et cetera, then what you offering me make sense for those short period of games. But for me to start with this team, if you can't meet me here, man, I wish you well, and I look forward to transitioning. But I also had ESPN I had that in my pocket too.
Getting ready to be an announcer.
Yeah, so I'd already signed, with them for 3 years, and that's why I told them I don't need it.
Yeah. First take. You jumped on first take.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, now what's your top 5 best boxing fights that you've sat and seen? Because obviously you're clearly a boxing fan. You go to the fights. What were the best? Name your top 5 best fights you've seen, sir.
Well, all the ones I've seen, is going to be representing all my Florida guys.
Yes, sir.
I say my top one was Roy winning the heavyweight championship.
That's right. I was there.
Yeah, we was all
I was
there,
the
man.
co-main event.
Yeah, it was co-main event.
Yeah.
That's right.
Then actually I was there. I saw 5-7 fight. I was there from 4 o'clock all the way through. So
Yeah,
I had to go back and get my wife because she didn't want to be there that early. But I had to watch everybody.
Right.
Because I think Jeff, that's one of Lacey's, was on that card too.
That's right.
Early on. So that's my top one. The second one, Roy fight that I enjoyed was Bernard Hopkins.
Good fight.
So those two. The third one is Wink's. When Wink beat Tito, man, that's, like I say, that was special. Next one I saw in person was Tarver upset Jones. Giving Tarver all his respect that day. He was on point, man. And my fifth fight is that I saw was actually a local fight.
Really?
And it was an upset when China, Big Tech, got up with Diaco's guy, the heavyweight fight. What was China? The heavyweight China
Smith.
China Smith, when the big Mexican upset him.
Yeah.
Because China would have won that fight. He had a Showtime contract that he was going to sign with the Diacos, and it happened up here at USF. He did not take this Mexican serious.
Mexican knocked him out.
Knocked him out. In the fourth round.
Out of there.
But Charles Smith, so that to me just live because I'm into and some of the better, obviously, I will say this, man, in watching, I went to watch in 2000 the Olympic trials. I had a chance, man, to travel up to it. They were holding it in Atlanta. I spent a day there watching all the guys, man, try to earn their way to be on the U.S. team. To me, man, that was special. Just
who'd you like? Who'd you catch? Who'd you like?
Man, as a matter of fact, some of the names I wasn't even.
You were just watching,
just like the fight.
I just like the fight, like some of the boxing.
Yeah.
So,
right,
that what I was watching, and I'm constantly, I know we're coming to a close, but my constant support, in all of this, and this is something that, I talked to my guy about. I say at some point, man, I still want that next generation that may not be a football player, basketball player, play the team sports, man, to see an outlet here with boxing and what it can be. And I let Cole, but I just think the perception of boxing being so tainted. People now going to this combat fighting with UFC and PFL and I'm thinking, me as a boxing purist, I want them to give the gloves a chance. Not that cage.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But for every young man or woman that I think have an interest in it, at some point they lose it because they've been wronged.
And I was just getting ready to say that. So the issue on that is so everybody always asks me, Wink, won't you get into boxing? Won't you do this? And it's just so corrupt. Boxing is so corrupt that I can't see myself doing that to somebody because I know it happened to me. People try to, do me wrong. So I had some good people to get behind me and stop that from happening. So that's why I stay out of boxing because I need people that want to truly be there for the fighters, truly help these fighters become great, help these fighters become the man or woman or person that they want to become. You know what I'm saying? Not just try to take from them. Listen, one of the kids just came to me, right? So I wasn't even doing no boxing. My daughter, I mess around with my daughter sometimes because my daughter can box. Yeah. But, the kid come to me and say, man, I got a fight in Houston. He said the promoter want me to pay the opponent. And then I said, so how much you gonna get paid? He want you to pay the opponent. He said, oh, I don't get paid. I just pay. I said, you out your mind?
Wow.
I said, you out your mind? I said, if a promoter asking you to pay the opponent, what is he doing? He's not a promoter.
Right.
So I said that to say this, that, I would love to get into boxing. I'm thinking, from seeing this, I say it's definitely a void that need to be filled, but I want to do it the right way. I want to take it, and I need to get Tampa Bay behind me. I need to get some people with this big money behind me, because when I do it, I want to do it right. I want to do it like you do in your school. I don't want to just come and do these little local shows like that where it look, that ain't what I want to do. Like you say, I got other stuff I can do. If that, I can go play golf. I ain't worried about that. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right. I want to get the Barlows behind me. I want to get somebody behind me where they got deep pockets and we can really give these kids a chance. You know what I'm saying? That because boxing is a great sport, as you know. It's a great way for these kids to get a good outlet and stay out of trouble. But they need to be able to, do more than just box. You need to teach them how to do things. Teach them how to do this. Teach them how to do that, and then they can grow as human beings and as people. And you know what I'm saying? It's just amazing, man.
And I really, stay in touch and tell Wink, man, when that iron strike hot and somebody steps in that space to support, I want to be a part of that ride, because boxing teach such a discipline.
Yes,
absolutely.
For a period of time, for a training camp to be 6 to 8 weeks, and you're on a schedule from eating to cooking to training. Right. You learn to train your mind to do that, and how that can manifest beyond just a ring in a life and a lifestyle.
Yep.
And I think for our kids that need that outlet, that sometimes make violent decisions and settle in disputes, but here's a legal way to do that.
That's right.
They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that.
No,
They just want to shoot a gun.
all the time.
They want to shoot a gun.
I tell them all the time. I say, here's a way to do that and earn a living and be a better man, woman, and person because of that. But again, to Wink's point, as we search to find, that person at back that had the patience to do it, I just still pray for opportunity there that with kids that come along that we may not even see now, but God just going to make our paths cross, and it's going to be bigger, it's going to be better. And I definitely, obviously, want my man here to the left involved, because I see how he came up in doing it, and I know his character. He said do it right, it's going to be done more than right. It's going to be done the best.
That's right.
We're letting the GOATs talk. We're going to conclude in a minute. We got one more segment left. We're going to talk about what you're doing right now. We got to talk about this school, but we're letting the GOATs talk. It's KTFO Boxing. That's Winky Wright, Derrick Brooks.
Winky Wright presents KTFO Boxing's Go Talk. Here's one of the GOAT's thoughts right now.
Welcome back. This is KTFO Boxing. Of course, stands for
Knock the F out.
This is Go Talk, and I'm letting the GOATs talk, and it's been so fun. This is our last segment, but I want to talk about today now. We got Winky Wright, Derrick Brooks. We already know, Derrick, your reputation precedes you. You've always been a stand-up guy. You've always been a player of character. So this isn't about throwing anybody under the bus, but your coach, your former coach, John Gruden, what he's going through right now, what are your thoughts about that? Like, is America too sensitive now, or is it a matter of just politics, getting back at Roger Goodell? I mean, there's so many different narratives that can be, because they're not giving a lot of information.
Well, which leads me to believe, it's obviously some bigger things and bigger news coming out of this that we can ever imagine. It's unfortunate, situation, because, Coach and what he said and what he did, there's no excuse for that. And he owns it. When I talked to him, I just simply said this. I said, Coach, I'm not here for you to, to say you're sorry. I know you need some effed up stuff, and that was wrong. But I focus on my faith and how I serve God is how can I help you move forward. I say, and as you digest this and you're ready to take those steps, I'm here for you.
Right.
I say, I don't know what those steps look like, but I want to be here for you to help you. I'm all about helping. I'm not all about anything else.
Moving forward.
I say, because, how it came to, I'll never know. I won't. But what I can control is how I treat you moving forward, and I want to help you. And to say I know what that help look like, I don't. So I'm not going to lie to you, but just know that I'm willing to do it. And he said, I appreciate it, Captain. I can't wait to see you, because I know you do all you can to help me be a better man through all of this. And that's kind of how we left it, with him. Now, obviously, you've seen players with different experiences talk about those experiences. And I was around, for some of it, and I saw, the tension. And obviously the biggest one is with Keyshawn. And it was hard, as a captain to keep the ship going in the right direction, knowing those things were out there. And, both have their issues with it. And yes, both of them have a certain accountability to how things went down. But my job in this and how I, just as God helped me keep the team together and get through this. Right. And we did. And people were real like, man, y'all won a lot of games with a lot of stuff going on. I'm like, yes.
Oh, my God.
I'm like,
you brought up the.
Yes, we did. Because, guys, of how the culture was. The culture didn't let, hey, man, just one thing pull us down. Hey, we got to throw that into this soup and keep mixing it together, but always keeping, the team goal and what the team got to accomplish first. And I would say I did my best in doing that. Now, the personal relationships, aside from that, man, everybody, everyone knew it was toxic. They did not like it, and that's fine. I mean, it's some teammates at times I didn't like, but they still were my teammates.
Right.
So, you navigate through those things and, you move forward. But at the end of the day, like I said, obviously I don't mind sharing this with you guys, but I just told Coach, I'm here to help you. Whenever you're ready to take those steps, I'm here to help you. Whether it's, like I say, 10 minutes from now, 5 minutes, whatever you ready. And God's going to deal with you with that. Just know that I'm here.
What would you tell, because you were part of that. We were talking earlier how the new players of today, it's kind of narcissistic and it's about self. And it might be even a little bit more about the money and it might be about the popularity and the fame. One of those key, I'm not going to put it on him because I love watching him play, but Keyshawn Johnson started that transition. You can see that. Players started changing. So if you had to give your advice on keeping, to the parents to keep your kids grounded and get them, and don't worry about the money, just play for, what would you tell them?
I tell them with my own kids, I say, guys, God has put us in a position, and me as the leader of the family, to this. The only thing I expect from you guys is give me your best effort and your best attitude.
Not easy when you got them M's.
Nah, I say that, but those are controllable factors that you can control. You competing against yourself.
Yeah.
Give me your best effort, your best attitude. And it's not about what I leave for you, it's what I leave in you. And I want to leave those things in you. Now, where that takes you, God got his own path for you. And I've talked to parents about that, and it's hard on the kids sometimes when the parents have even more of those expectations than the kids. And that's tough. That's tough.
They're putting pressure on the kids. They're putting pressure on the kids to make it, because I got to take my mom out of the ghetto. I got to do that, to do that.
And there's nothing, I tell you, there's nothing wrong with that if that's your motivation that wakes you up as a young athlete to do these things. But it can be when then the pressures of the parent is putting that on you to make it all about that. That's when I think, no, how can I assist and help and educate? And if that's my child's goal, I'm going to support it. But I'm not, it's a difference between supporting it and putting pressure on it. And I've come across situations, very real talk, where a parent couple years ago flat out told me, I'm expecting my child to be a professional athlete so I can get taken care of.
Right. That's the plan, long-term goal.
I said, say that again. I said, you heard me. I expect my child
to be a professional athlete to take care of me.
I say, obviously, I need to bring somebody else in because God hasn't equipped me to deal with that type of attitude.
That's right.
I say, I'm being very honest and vulnerable.
That's right.
You need somebody better than me because I'm not equipped to deal with that type of attitude. Not saying you right or wrong.
Right.
I'm not judging you.
Right.
I'm just telling you what my strengths and weaknesses are.
Yeah.
and I did, man. I had to call on some others to come take that conversation because it was beyond my understanding to say that's so this child can't live and dream for themselves because those expectations. So that child gets married. The parent feel you're gonna always be first. This kid has no room for no one else. That's somebody I just, again, wasn't equipped to deal with. But I share that to simply say this. Because of all the platforms that are available to athletes today and the economic empowerment that comes behind it, it can be a useful asset to them if it's guided the right way. How about take advantage of these platforms when you've reached a certain space and place in your grind to be that? Mm-hmm. If you're coming out of high school expecting to have a college to have $1 million for you to attend and name, image, and likeness, you're being unrealistic. You are. You're coming out of high school.
They're paying now.
Look. I know for the one athlete, I'm saying one athlete signed an NIL deal in college last year, right. 6 figures. High 6 figures. He got replaced.
Yeah, once they get that money,
money changes things.
Money ain't changed their performance. He wasn't performing.
Money can change your performance.
Coach sat him down, back up in playing now, but probably lead the team to national championship. Kid signed there, he's looking to get out of here and transfer where? What other college gonna want to bring this? Because you show, but again, nothing wrong with you doing that. But for that one kid that signed that, think about all the other NIL opportunity that kids that are not going to sign that. And that's the false thing that everybody think they're chasing, that it's 6-figure deals. Guys, it's not 6-figure deals out there for professional athletes that are in the professional world. Companies not paying them. So what makes you, I ain't going to say what, I'll say it's false security for you to set those expectations. Now, to have some expectations, absolutely. Because I look at, again, myself included, hey, if NIL was available when I was in college, what would I really truly would have earned? Of jersey sales or this or that? Yeah, that was a space to say that was some earnings and learnings from that. Mm-hmm. But let's manage those expectations. And I say, okay, as long as it's not zero, it's some, you're doing well. But I think it's so much false security into, hey, they're getting it. No, they're not getting it. That one kid is getting it.
Right.
Okay? So that's why I try to correct parents and saying it's like, yes, opportunity is out there, but let's manage these opportunities for what they really are. You just can't take the one exception and say it's going to apply to the million prep athletes. No, that is not how it works. But don't lose your dream of the opportunity, and maybe it may not be your freshman year, which another parent I advised in this say, hey, it may not be the freshman year your kid leave high school going to college. NIL opportunities may be once he get into college and has some success. So don't rush into the game right here. Let your kid enjoy his last year of high school.
Nope, we got to get to that bag, Derrick.
You know what I'm saying?
I ain't trying to hear you.
Hey man, let him enjoy. let him or her enjoy that.
That's right.
And then the bigger blessing could be down the road.
Yes.
So that's all I say to that.
Yeah, I hear you. All right. So now getting to my favorite part. Changed my life. I'm at work. Steve Dumick comes up to me. Bo, you need to go to Derrick Brooks Charity Foundation. I said no. I don't. All they're gonna do is ask for my money, and I don't feel like going. So he said, "No, I'm gonna get Derrick to get you some tickets. Go." So I said, "Okay, I'm gonna go." Derrick's a nice guy. See him in the hallways. Hi, Derrick. How you doing? I always speak back. I'm gonna go. We get there at the Hilton or the Hyatt. We in the ballroom. Speaker comes out. This is for the Derrick Brooks Charter School Foundation, Brooks DeBartolo. I'm like, what? Then they say, look at this presentation. And you have all the children there, and they're like, I want to go, I want to be a lawyer. And then a little girl, I want to be a doctor. Another, I want to be a practitioner. And then Tony Dungy comes out. And I'm like, what? And Tony Dungy, he's saying this is about empowerment in the community, the black community. As a responsible professional, you have to give to this school. And then a young lady comes out, hi, I'm Dr. Such and Such. I went to this school, as you can see, when I was a little girl, and everybody was like, I can tell you, sir, without being long-winded, that changed my life. And I knew not only to give to African-American males in the community, not only give to education in the community, but knowing that God says you have to be a blessing to get a blessing.
Yes.
And that was what was said. I learned that passage at your foundation. So please, sir, wrapping things up, please talk about the Brooks, the Bartolo Charter School Foundation, and all your charities, and that school, because it is a godsend.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Well, first, before I jump into that, is obviously a quick thank you, here to my Hall of Fame friend here for supporting our golf tournament every year.
Yes, sir.
Ever since it started, Wink has been gracious enough to be one of my celebrity golfers. And the golf tournament is the primary fundraiser for Derrick Brooks charities. And all that money with that support, that's their way of sewing into my vision and giving back, through me to the kids. And that's why, again, those relationships, man, we tap into them every day and supporting each other because they know we're all doing the same thing in a different way and changing kids' lives. The school, as I said before, yes, it's all about parents trusting my vision of educating their kids, and I don't take that trust lightly. And the speaker you're talking about is Dr. Natasha Spencer. She started as one of my first students in the Boys and Girls Clubs of Tampa Bay, living in the College Hills Projects, didn't know what the world looked like outside of those walls. All she saw, was crime, drugs, inappropriate sex. Career, didn't see a doctor in her career, saw the service career. But as she started to be around these educational opportunities that we were providing, she earned her way to go on all these trips that I was taking kids around this country and the world. She saw a different world. And she heard a doctor speak over in South Africa about how he was a little kid and dreamed about saving lives and people in his hometown, and now he's back in Africa as a doctor saving people in his villages. That's what sparked her to want to be a doctor. And she ended up going, to Florida State, graduating, getting her master's there, getting her medical degree from there, and she's one of the top OBGYN doctors now in Florida, out of Orlando. But that's all that this was about, just showing kids opportunities outside the walls they live in. And my vehicle to do that was education. It wasn't sports. It wasn't just coming, tickets to a football game to root the Bucks on. It was about me going into those neighborhoods where those tickets were given and getting to know the people and trust in the neighborhood. And the dope boys saw me coming. They saw me bringing programs, and one of them actually
tried you up.
Nah, he actually, it was some heated moments that, I'm in the club, in the Boys and Girls Club. They'll come in, hey, I suppose you might want to leave. It's going to be going down. We want you around it. That type of respect. Yeah. Till respect was, hey, man, why I got to be going down? Let's look at this differently. And over time, that impacted them, that one of them actually now was selling back in the day. He's one of my top guys now that mentors the kids and have his own lawn service business where he hire ex-offenders. And he always talk about moments where he was waiting for me to stop coming. He said, I told these kids, y'all running in there, but y'all going to be running back to me soon. He going to be leaving. He said, man, you still going.
That's right.
I said, you still going. And that's how I say fast forward, all this to say we all could be a difference maker in our own way, man. We don't need to be professional athletes or making buku money. All you need is a caring heart and give your time. You'll find your cause. And if we all do that in terms of making this world a better place beyond, like I say, my space is kids and education, your space may be something else. But if you're willing to give your time and that passion in your heart, man, God will water it. I truly believe that.
Yeah, and you're going to be blessed for that, sir. So, I know your character, again, speaks for itself. It's been an honor and a pleasure just hanging out with you and getting to know you. But what you've done with that school, what's the website that people can look up?
Yes, it is bdchs.org, bdchs.org. And for Derrick Brooks Charities, it's db55.org, db55.org. Those are the two ways you can learn more about our school and our foundation.
Cool. There it is. All right. Real quickly, top 5 entertainers, singers of all time.
Top 5.
Singers of all time.
Yeah, who's your top 5 that you sing?
Oh, my God.
That's
man,
tough,
I'm going to go
man.
way back. I'm a big, Aaron Hall.
Okay.
I like that.
Not a guy, Aaron Hall.
Just
He
Aaron-
went.
Damn.
Oh.
Sorry, Damon. Sorry. Sorry, Teddy. Aaron Hall.
When he went off on his own, man, I got in a lot of trouble
Yeah.
listening to him.
Yeah.
Next singer, and this actually more my mom's favorite was Aretha Franklin.
Riri. Yeah.
We heard a lot of her growing up in the day. I'm a big Maxwell guy. I like Maxwell. I throw him on at any time.
Yeah,
just
player.
calm my mood, man. Calm my mood. Another R&B singer. When he was here with us, Luther. Yeah, just to get my mom, influence. She had a big crush. So I think that made my dad mad. And I don't know if I call it a singer, but I'm gonna say performer. I always like to see. I saw Prince live a couple times.
I'm about to say, you got to Prince or Michael Jackson, the Whitney, you got to be.
But for performing, I saw Prince concert twice. I'm talking about, man.
How about Prince at the Super Bowl?
Man, awesome. And like I say, man, you talking about GOAT, Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
I apologize for not mentioning, but I never seen him live.
Never seen him live. No.
But I saw Prince live twice, man. And
Who you sing?
yeah, he was. But you definitely MJ. Another MJ that's a great. Besides Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson.
5 best hits where you crush somebody. You like.
I can't go.
They
there.
do that to me too. They
Because here's
the
why-
5
here's
best
why I
fight.
can't
The
go there.
5
Come on.
you kiss
Here's
hard.
why. Because I'm the appeals officer for the NFL. So when guys get fined for hits,
Yeah.
I'm the guy that's sitting talking to them. They pleading their case.
But a good
So if I'm
solid
gonna say-
rap hit.
If I'm gonna say top 5 hit, now I say, okay, you the guy decide no fines not there, but you saying it was a top 5 hit, you even give me
It was different when y'all was hitting. Y'all could hit a little harder.
I will politically say, I love when I love some of the ones Lynch put down in his career.
Yeah, Lynch
Tom
was tough.
Lynch was
Yeah, he was
But
tough.
you,
I was on the receiving end of a couple of them. And I was like, man, get your effing head up, man. Damn, you hit me in my reels, man. Lynch knocked out his brother-in-law.
Really?
I don't know if you do it. His brother-in-law's a tight end for the Bears.
Which one?
John Allred. So Lynch married his
Sister?
younger sister.
Okay.
I mean, I think, his younger sister.
And they knocked him out?
Yeah, John caught one over the middle, man. Lynch hit him right in the chin, put him to sleep. I said, boy, how many years you was waiting to do that?
Yes, sir.
Hey, it didn't even help him up.
Wow.
Lynch hit him, walked away.
Last question, Derrick. What? How do you want when people look back at your career and they look at the greatness that you've done in Tampa Bay and the community and what you've done with the Bucks and what you've done at Florida State and all the great things that you've done? What's the last statement that you want people to know about you?
Actually, a couple. Obviously, I was a man of God.
Yep.
And made my work speak for me. Let my actions do the talking.
Let your actions do the talking. Walk it like you talk it. Mr. Brooks, it has been an absolute pleasure.
Been a pleasure, my brother.
Yes,
man,
you
always,
are truly
always,
a
my
GOAT.
brother, for real, man.
And I mean, Hall of Fame, You know, you're my Hall of Fame for real, because you know
the number say it itself.
Oh my gosh! But what you've done in Tampa Bay and it just again and everybody says, you know, this is Derrick Brooks' town. Like when I got here, they were like, "It's Derrick Brooks' town." But you know, my dog Wink though, you know.
Hey, that's Tampa. He can have Tampa. I'm the same thing. He can have Tampa. I'm saying too.
There y'all go. What is that? What is this? McGregor's the same way, man. I don't like coming over to St. Pete. What is this?
Listen, man. I love coming over here because
y'all get tight.
275 South, I-75, 595, leaving Tampa. Hey, man, that's all on to the Wink, man.
Oh, man. Nah, man.
That's why whenever he beat me in golf, it's always on this side of the bridge.
It's hard to get him up out the Vinoy. But why would you want to leave the Vinoy?
Man, the Vinoy is great. My man know every sprinkler head.
Yeah, they don't want them long.
He know every
courses,
weed
man.
over that, man. He know every caterpillar at the Vinoy,
man. Hey, this is KTFO Boxing. That's Derrick Brooks. Again, we appreciate you so much.
Definitely.
Make sure we'll have the link in on our page if you want to donate to the charities. But again, that's truly a GOAT. This is KTFO Boxing.
See ya.